Also don't need this. There's a little bit of overkill as well here. So we do need to work a little bit on the topology here. I think that fix works pretty well. So again, I want that triangle to be on the same stuff as here. That all looks good. Let's try to get a nicer looking flow here. So this one's really excessive. Let's get rid of it. And then add a touch flow on this one. Gonna get completely rid of this one. No, this here. Let's do the same with this one. I think that's too much. Won't keep that one there. Look, this needs to be soft. Let's also add a little bit of depth here. So we can take this one. Just let's model this out a bit more properly. So let's take a look. Let's match this up better. Gonna get rid of that one, I think it's too much. So let's add a little bit of depth. And we do that just like that. So let's get rid of these hard edges. Now we need to make these hard. And get rid of those. Actually, we should keep those for now. Later we'll bevel that. Not sure when though. We'll figure it out. We don't need as much resolution at the back. Actually, we do. Never mind. I'm gonna delete that middle one. We'll do a bevel later. I think that looks a little bit more clean. You can see how we slowly but surely clean up that topology. Now we have something that looks nice and clean here. Still not liking how this is flowing. Again, triangles at the edge, it's not for me. It's not really changing it here, so I'm not too worried about it. We can do some triangulation already. Let's not do that, so we can still smooth it out with Quattro. As soon as you have triangulations in your quads, it's not gonna smooth out. So I think now we're at a point where everything's pretty nice and clean. We need to start actually getting rid of these hard edges and putting in bevels. So the very first thing is I'm gonna decide what I actually want to keep in hard edge, what I want to bevel. So to do this, we can open up a UV editor. You can do it here so you can take a good look. Usually I have this open on my other screen. So planar based, and unfold that stuff. Now I want to try to avoid as much seams as I can. I'm just going to place them where we absolutely need to. So check that out, we can do this. Anything where it's really red, we need some seams. So we're going to need some here, and some here and here. See, especially here. Anything where we have the holes, we should be selecting it like that. Then this one. If we now cut that out, so we still need to cut a little bit more away. Let's get rid of this hard edge. Try cutting away. Don't want to cut that actually. Let's see why it's not smoothing out. So let's just try selecting all this. Mapping planar. Now this should be all nice and smooth. Now we can unfold this one. Now we just need to make it make a little bit more sense. We take a look where that UV cut is. That's not a nice place. Instead, let's follow this hard edge here. That's good. Not sure what's happening here. So that's one done. Let's take a look at the other ones. These are not too bad actually. I still want to go ahead and fix them up a little bit. These should also be hard edges. Let's go ahead and fix that up a little bit. So now we should be selecting these hard edges. Those should become cuts. Not sure why this is all hard edge. Let's see, we should cut this piece out. I think. So this piece that we should actually cut out. Let's do the same here. See, we have a little issue here. Maybe we shouldn't have cut this. Nope, should definitely keep that cut. I think I'm also gonna cut out this one. Let's move to this piece first. Doesn't really change too much. That one cut here. So now that's looking a little bit better. One thing that I do want to take note of is the straightness of this part right here. This should be pretty straight. And we might need to cut it out of the UVs to get it to be nice and straight. So let's try like this first. This so we can apply proper fabric details without the fabric like bending weirdly. So we can straighten this out. I don't think that looks too bad. And actually, I'm messing up a little bit. We should be doing that for all the leather pieces as well, like right here. If we don't do it, the leather's gonna be pretty odd, I think. But let's give it a look. So to get a better unwrap, we need to add some symmetry. And make sure everything's on 0 again. See, it's moving, so it wasn't perfectly on 0. And now let's merge. Before we merge, let's turn on history recording. Put that to 0.01. And then some stuff. Let's try merging that middle line. So I'm going to show you an example of the problem that we're running into now. So you might think, hey, this is looking good, there's not too much stretching. But let's say we do blended. Now over here we go to color, file. And put a checker on here. Put this on raw. Let's change the UV coordinates. Repeat this 40 times. Maybe 60. So the problem that we're having right now, if we take a look at the edges, the leather detail should be flowing nicely like this, but now it's going like this. It's gonna look very strange and gonna be a dead giveaway that it's fake. Same for here, this should all be flowing up. This a little bit it's a little bit up, and then here it kind of ends diagonally. So to do that, let's start off by deleting the symmetry again. We need to cut this up. We shouldn't do this at the top of the panel. I like to have all my UV cuts on the bottom. We can cut. We can move on. Cut. And cut. The same thing here. Actually, I'm gonna try to keep that one uncut, because it is better to have the least amount of cuts as you can. That's just for mid-mapping and LODing. But for personal project, I'm definitely gonna prioritize having proper fabric directionality over the map maps and LODs, because that's all stuff that we're not even gonna be using. Do you think we could try merging these together? This one. So to make this nice and straight, so everything flows well, you gotta take this edge, straighten it out, move it up, take this one, straighten it out, move it down, then take the outsides, straighten it out, move it out, and one more here. This one's a little bit different because we have something there. Then just unfold it. You can find that by modify and where is it? Unfold. And then you can put it to vertically or horizontally. And then you can Control Shift to put that on the shelf. To get the shelf, you can go to View and Custom Shelf. Then we pick everything in between. We unfold that, unfold it. Then we move it like this. See something going wrong. Let's take these and optimize. Hitting G to repeat. Taking this and straightening it out. Unfolding it. And just kind of go back and forward between unfolding and smoothing. Okay, try to optimize it once. Let's fix it again. Now we have a nice straight piece. You can see the directionality of the ladder will be fine now. Directionality here seems pretty good as well. I think we can go ahead and move this together maybe. Let's try straightening that out. So that all seems to have a good directionality here. Let's watch this. Much that back together. See here, the directionality isn't straight enough. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this. We can merge this back later. But this can help keeping everything nice and straight, a little bit more easy. Having straight UV is gonna help with mip mapping as well, with UV packing. Let's try to get this a little bit more straight. So that's very nice and straight at this point. So if we straighten that out, it's not gonna rotate the UVs here. Just like that. We can optimize a little bit in there. You can see the directionality is now all pretty good, while having a pretty big UV island. Let's see if we can merge a little bit more together. I'll try this one more time. I don't think that's too bad actually. So I'm gonna keep that as well together. This one, the directionality doesn't really matter, it's gonna be like a metal piece. Let me show you. This is not gonna have like a very distinct directionality. It's more gonna be like a black, so it doesn't really matter if there's some warping. And actually looking at, there's quite a bit of directionality in this reference. It looks nice. Okay, so let's not merge that together. And this piece should be like that. See if we can merge back this piece. I don't think so, but let's try. Let's keep that separated. Same for this one. I'm gonna keep this one separated as well. Let me think a little bit. Let's merge this one. Actually keep separated. Then applying those UVs, this would be straight. Mirror. This should be straight. That's all that we can merge together while keeping good directionality. Let's fix this one. See, we have floating third up here. I think there's a little bit of more appropriate cut. Not sure what's happening. So those are hard edges, so they should be cut. That should be a pretty good start. So let's export this. Now you will see there's still some big issues here. That's just because where we don't have a UV seam, it shouldn't be a hard edge, but a bevel. You can see here it's baking well, because we have a UV seam. So to fix this now is we can select all the hard edges. Should have a script for this on your bar. Now we're gonna unselect all the UV seams. So all the UV borders shouldn't be selected in this. This one will cut later, the UV. I really don't feel like beveling this. I need to work a little bit more on the stuff there. Actually, let's work a little bit more on the UVs first. So I'm just gonna cut that out. Right in here. That looks good. Keep that directionality in mind. That was proper. So the UVs of this piece should really look like leather, right? Then just where it's cut out. But again, we gotta merge some of them, like here, to keep the technicalities of the 3D model better. Go ahead and work a bit on those UVs here. See, I think that one and this one should definitely cut. Then this area is a little questionable. Start by getting rid of this hard edge. Same here. Let me think for a little bit. I think this works well enough to not cut it, maybe. I do think we should cut a little bit out here. That area was really struggling. See, this is pretty crooked. We should take this all and straighten this out. That's looking better. This looks pretty stressed, but I think we're okay. This area's a little bit bad. But we can fix that by cutting this away. We should cut this as well. And I think that should relax it a bit. So yeah, you can see that's much better. It has some directionality problems though. This should pretty much be straight. See, that looks better. Let's keep it like this for now, and when we work on the symmetry, we can edit that a little bit more. But the important part is that we have everything cut out. Almost everything. Don't need that hard edge there. So now let's select all the hard edges. Actually, before we do this, let's make sure this is all lining up well. You can see that we have a few alignment issues. Again, don't worry, this is the biggest part of our retop of our asset, and it's almost done. I think that's close enough. We don't need perfectly. Make sure shading's looking okay. Just put this on component and straighten it out to be perfect. Let's get rid of some of these hard edges. Do you want to keep that one hard? This one should be hard as well. Let's try making everything hard again. So this can be soft for sure. This one as well, so we don't go too crazy with Bevels. Actually thinking about this should all be cut. Should be cut here. That should be one. then this should be merged together. Should be its own ones. This one should be soon. Let me undo that. So like that. Now let's take this one. Let's pull this straight. So just like that. Call this checker MTL. That's all we know, right? So now finally let's add our bevels. So the way we do this is we do hard edges select. Then we want to unselect all the borders of the UVs. This is really important, only the borders of the UVs. Anything in the UV should be selected. Now we can make this all soft, so soften edge. It's gonna mess the shading up. Where we fix that shading by beveling. I think we can put a little bit more, maybe one. Now let's smooth shade all, soft edge. Now we select the hard edges again, the UV borders I mean. Don't actually need that one, as we're gonna do that with symmetry. Now we do harden edge. That's it. Now everything has proper shading. This does come with a few challenges that we need to fix. See here, it came weird because we had it merged. I'm gonna harden edge that again. Some manifold edges that are going to be a pain to fix, we will manage. So first, before we worry about the UVs anymore, let's worry about fixing all this up. Like we got some n-gons here and there, so we gotta go here and just doing stuff like that. So let's first fix all these little bevel errors. And we should clean this up a little bit more as well. And get rid of this one. Should also place that bevel a little bit better. You can see by subdividing everything it does become a lot more complicated, making the low poly. But we do get a pretty nice result at the end, which makes it worth it for me. But we do gotta go back and forward a lot. And I think that's far enough to take this piece. I don't like to finish everything in one go. I like to kind of jump back and forward between the stuff that I feel like doing. So now we can go to the second part. Let's go ahead and hide this one, so we can start doing some work on this. So to retop this part, I'm gonna start off with a cube. I'm gonna hide this one. Let's delete these. Let's see. Just do a really quick test. Put this on surface and then do mesh and conform. And look for the poly count that I want to use for this. I think this is a little bit too excessive. So instead of starting with a cube, we're gonna polygon cylinder. Should have history on for this. Hit the T key, then put this to 6. Let's delete those. Then work with one subdiff. See how that looks. And that's enough. So I'm gonna keep it like this. Disable sticky. And let's move this all the way to the end. Let's do this a little bit more proper. Follow the curvature. So just like sculpting, I don't like to finish everything of one piece before jumping around a little bit and getting some of the other work done. This just so it doesn't become too boring to me. If I keep working on the same piece for a long time, I do get pretty bored eventually. So this is a good way to keep the low poly process a little bit more interesting to me. Of course you can finish one piece and move on to the other one, if that works better for you. make sure that's in the middle. This. So what I'm gonna do now is go into X-ray. Actually, I don't think we have to. No, we have to. Don't really like the X-ray mode though. We can go into wireframe. I'm gonna make a cut on like every indent outdent that we have. So the lowest point, the highest point, lowest point. This doesn't need to be perfect, just get more or less. Let's have a look. See that one as well. Let's even that out a little bit. So now that we have everything kind of surrounded, all we have to do is go to mesh and hit conform. Make this one live first, so mesh conform. It's not doing the best job. Just gonna do this in Zbrush. I'm gonna project. You can kind of fix some issues here and there with the projection. Project the distance like that. Well then, the crease. So crease. Now we can divide and we can project. Just doing that until we got an initial shape back, more or less. This mess up. Go back a little bit. Jump to the crease. Crease should be all the way here. Now let's take that second subdivision. Let's plot it. And if you want to optimize this a little bit, you could like take something on the side that you don't really see too much and collapse. Actually, I'm gonna try to collapse all, see how that looks. I think that will work fine. So let's go ahead and fix this up a little bit. Just gonna delete that stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and smooth this out a little bit so it's more rounded. So that looks about even now. Now we can take this, just scale it, let's rotate it right. Let's scale it all the way up again. It's interesting. And here it's gonna be very obvious that it isn't nice and round. Here it's a little bit less obvious to me. So what we can do is we can something like this. Then we just add a segment to all. And let's add the edge flow so it's nice and rounded. So something like that. We can hold down V to snap to the high poly as well. Don't necessarily have to make it a live surface. Let's do a little simple calculation. So we have 12. This was 3, so we can put 4 segments on each. Let's put this one here. This one here. I think this one here. I'm gonna put on hard edge on all these just to mark which one it is. Let's do this all out. So this one, and this one. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's all looking right. Let's make this one hard as well. Just gonna flatten this out. That's the same here. Make a little bit of a mistake here. Just rotate it weirdly. So like that. Let's extend this all the way to the top. And go into wireframe. So this one maybe, nope, doesn't work well. Let's make these soft. Now we gotta choose the beginning of the twisters. Remember, it should be 4 segments. So this one's gonna be the first one here. And this one here. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm gonna make this one hard. Make this one hard as well, and this one. So that can guide us which one we should be twisting here. We'll take a look. One twist it until that's right there. Okay, just a little bit. Let's make another cut here. Let's get the hard edge on the right one. Thank you. I think I'm gonna go back a little bit. So we're gonna do something like that to fix it easily. Let's make sure we rotate it right this time. That looks good. So it's super important to follow the twisting. Gonna put this all the way here, so we don't need to keep getting rid of the hard edges that we put. I'm just paying attention to the hard edge, don't really care about the other ones. Just make sure they get on the right panel where they should be, like in the right tube. Is that word for it? Now I'm putting a lot more work into this than this piece, as most of it's gonna be hidden in the render, so I don't really care too much about it, to be honest. Now that's all well in place. Just gotta go ahead and add some more segments. Maybe just outline it a bit. Okay, I'm putting more topology here because it's more important, and this is actually what we're gonna be seeing. And let's edit the edge flow out. Now let's do one final lineup. You can use this with a soft brush. After editing edge flow, I'm just reprojecting. Let's get it back in my just gonna go over it and relax a little bit. And that's all about it. But the last painful process that we need to do is to triangulate this piece. But I'm not gonna do that because I really don't feel like it. Add some bevels. these bevels just for the shading, because I don't wanna use too many hard edges. Can choose between hard edge or bevel. I generally like to work with bevels. I feel like it gets a little bit more of an organic look that way. Let's check out that shading. It's looking pretty good. Put an extra edge here for the shading. Nice. Then one more here. Then for these ones, let's go ahead and take this one and this one. The one that we see the least is not gonna get one. This we're gonna bevel. Get really small. Let's do it like this. Take a look at shading now. It's looking nice and clean. Then this one, I'm gonna make a cut. Cut's gonna go all the way like this. We should have UVs for this first. Let's do the UVs pretty quick. So we take this one. Gonna do a harden edge and cut. Don't want that over here. So here we're gonna soft this edge. And over here I'll keep it to help a little bit with that shading maybe. Let's delete it as well. Now you can see that's shaded right. And the topology is looking pretty nice and clean there. I think the resolution works well with the other stuff that we have. So let's finish up the UVs here. Take like middle edge. Drag that straight, then just unfold. And unfold a little bit. That should give you pretty nice UVs. So now let's put this in helmet 2. Let's select both of them. Make this one smaller. Let's back them. So fix this and then fold edges. I think we have a few here. We'll find out where they are later. For now we can take helmet low and put the helmet material on it. Save. Let's export A. Again, because we set everything up, we don't need to export all this stuff out. Now in Marmoset, you can see that we have a model. Now I'm just gonna do a helmet, bake. That's gonna bake it. I was gonna try ambient occlusion at this point, just to kind of get an idea how that looks. I think that looks pretty nice. There's some little errors here and there though, but generally speaking, over here, for example, I think looks really nice. Now we can kind of check how that's looking with the normal map. So I do think this could use more resolution to get rid of this like blackish outline. I really don't like having that in here. But I'll do that later when I kinda decided on the render. Actually, let's do it now. So for this I'm gonna unhide everything. Can you make a decision? Maybe up until like here. Let's do it until here. Actually, let's just do all. So I'm gonna make sure to have edit edge flow on. Just put it in like this. That's all. I'll turn it off again. Let's add an extra edge again. Let me show you. Now let's make this one live and mesh. And conform to mesh. Let's see if this works as selection. Mesh conform. That's great, let's work as selection. Check out the UVs. Probably optimize this once to fix it. Some stuff going on here. Just gonna redo and play now. And cut. Again, let's take the middle one, straighten it out, and unfold. Take helmet 1 and 2, layout, UV, export script, and let's bake. And Marmoset crashed. So restart Marmoset and rebaked. Now we can see the results. Now we don't have that much of a black line, which I think looks a little more polished. So let's take a look what we have more to do. So next up will be this little strap. And then we move on to all the little buckles and whatever. There's some stuff missing here. We're supposed to have those buttons here as well. Not sure what happened to them. Maybe I put them in the mask. Nope. Nope. So we messed that up a little bit, but we'll get them back later. First, let's worry about this little piece here. Let's go ahead and start with the third piece. It's gonna be a pretty simple piece. I'm gonna hide this. Let's hide the one. Let's make this live. Now we just make even quads, trying to go until that rough edge. And that's pretty good. Now we can add some thickness. Let's invert. So it should be through that rough edge everywhere. Okay, we're gonna move out. Do the same here. And just like that. So let's check out this piece. We need to add some subdivisions, obviously. So windows, modeling editor, and crease. And we should define this a little bit better first. Something like that. Now we can add a crease to all that stuff. That crease as well. Let's have it. And kind of check the resolution out of the other two pieces. I think we will do one subside on this. That's all good. Delete this. Actually, gonna go back a little bit, I think. And get rid of thickness here. So something like this. Go ahead and bridge this all up. It's a horrible job. So we can define one and then let's do these first actually. So now it should work. So just like that. I'm gonna extrude this. Go ahead and bevel here. Like that. I'm gonna come in by hand and kind of edit this. We can actually try to scale this first. So it's a little bit close already. So that's more like this. So that's a nice look here. So I'm really gonna follow that hard edge, the rough edge that we put in. of those, don't need it now. We could do a mesh conform, then kind of edit that further with hand again. And let's put one edge in the middle and conform again. And here we can need a little bit more resolution. So we kind of meshed our mesh up here, which is annoying. But because it's on the back side, it's not going to be too noticeable. Maya's messing up. So after dragging it in the correct folder, let's give some really quick UVs. So I'm gonna go ahead and collapse this up. I'm gonna make this into a hard edge. Just like here. Let's see. Let's select the hard edges and cut. And cut. I think that should do it. Let's select the middle one and pull that straight and straighten those UVs. Do the same here, let's straighten that out. And do one nice. That looks fine. You can see how fast working between the bake and Maya becomes when we have everything set up properly. Let's check out our bake. That's pretty good. So let's move on, I think that looks fine. I'm gonna go ahead and start working more on this again, because I don't feel like doing any work on the buckles yet. So to get rid of this timeline, I never use it. This stuff can also go. You want to keep the Python, and you can also get rid of the helpline. Just gonna save that out. See, this can kind of messy. looks for some problematic areas. It shouldn't be too difficult to find. So an easy way to find them is just to smooth and see where you have like a thing that just looks very wrong. So like that. I'm gonna go ahead and work a little bit on that bevel. Get that shape a bit better. Same here. Let's try to capture the shape a bit better here. Becoming a little bit difficult to see what's going on here. Sometimes it can be easy if we just hide the high. I think we should bevel this out. So that's a little bit more consistent in the topology. Again, if you're stuck, not really know what to do, just look for consistency. With this bevel, I'm gonna add some depth instead. Actually, let's not. Keep it like this, and now we just bridge this. We can grow this selection. Then we can smooth this out. Then we need to cut this and make this a hard edge. Continue searching for weird polys. Got some stuff going on here, maybe. Nope. Put the triangulation in. So we got some stuff here going on. Just gonna merge that all together. Then let's take this bevel and continue that again. If you can't really get a good view underneath, you can select the polys, and then we can go into the solo. And select them all. Then in solo we can go easily in here. Over here we can connect them up. Do that. Let's go out of sticky. Should do it, I think. So we can also use the UVs, the UVs selection tool. That's looking pretty good. So we can also use the UVs to kind of check the topology. So if we do 3, we can see that here we have something going on. Let's check the shading. That works fine. This can be a little bit faster than going over all the mesh and checking. Now we can really easily jump around and get stuff fixed up. Got some issues here. I don't think this will work with the shading. Let's give it a try. So no. Gonna give the same problem, I think. Yep. So we can move this all a little bit closer. So I also need some more adjusting. Now that looks okay, the shading. Let's look for some more things. I think we have most of the issues solved now. This looks a little cramped. There's some more issues here. You can see fixing little bevel issues like this isn't too difficult. It's just a little bit annoying, that's all. left hand go back and forward with the UVs. That's okay. And I have to add a bevel here for the shading, so I don't want to add another hard edge here. Now you can see that shading stays well. And there's some different workflows where you keep the bevels away and you fix the shading with the normal map. It's kind of up to preference, I guess. But I want you to be aware that both are valuable options. Let's see, here we have a little issue. Again, most issues are very minor. We can easily fix them. So I'm just looking at the UVs until I cannot find any odd looking things anymore. This looks a little bit weird. So let's get this one back again, so we can work with high detail. So that's a little tedious. It's important that our features actually align for obvious reasons. It can be a little misaligned, but that should be pretty closely aligned. Something that can also help is when doing retop to freeze this stuff. Not sure why it's not letting me do it though. But sometimes you accidentally move it. If you have it frozen, you can't. Actually, it's not called freeze. It's lock selected. Because sometimes when you're doing retop, you accidentally move it and then you think, hey, it's misaligned, and then you start adjusting those vertices. Then become a big pain. So this can kind of help sometimes to avoid mistakes like that. I also want to add a little bit more polish here. I'm sure why it's doing such a bad job. Is it because we froze it? Let's try unlocking it. Freeze all. Not sure what's we have it snapped to the wrong surface. Now that works fine again. Still gotta clean this up a little bit. Want to be sure that I really capture that shape. I'm gonna add two more like that. Let's clean this area up a little bit. So I don't think we actually need that bevel here. It's gonna be a little bit more clean. Some triangulation by hand, just to make sure it's following that fold well. Let's see what else needs some changing. Sure this bevel's a little bit better. So another really handy thing that we can do is, actually let's fix this up first. We have let's add some depth here. So we have an N-gon. Let's avoid those for now. Then this middle edge is gonna get some actual depth. So another thing that we can do is mesh, cleanup, select matching, and select the N-gons. We can start fixing these up. This is kind of like a last step of fixing things. Put that triangulation there. So let's add some more depth here. Something like that. Don't really need this extra edge here, I think. So now, save. Let's move on to the next piece. Let's go with this one, see what's happening here. So this is just a problem of a wrong target weld. Do the next one. You can see fixing these N-gons are minor fixes all the time. Just connecting something. I'm not sure what happened there. Couldn't do that. Totally messed up. So this is another uncleaned bevel area. Just like that, it should be fixed. Go ahead and place this a little bit better though. I think we should bevel this. Add a little bit more resolution. extending that hard edge by 1, that fixes it. Go to the next one. So a floating third. So here's the bevel issue, it seems. We just have a few more. Let's see, where are these? This looks like another bevel issue maybe.